Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Extreme Weather Video's live coverage of this severe weather event here this evening across portions of the central U.S. We have ongoing storms right now starting to fire up here across Oklahoma here within this large enhanced risk that you can see that the Storm Prediction Center has issued. Joining us on the stream this evening is our good friend Rob that you see here on a lot of our videos. Rob, thanks for joining us to join me in breaking down the severe weather analysis tonight. We're also hopefully going to be joined later in the stream here by our very own storm chaser, Jeff Essenbacher. He is in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, currently staged up on the northeast side of Tulsa, keeping an eye on some storms that we have ongoing this evening across portions of Oklahoma. Right now we've got one, Rob, I believe, near the Enid, Oklahoma area. So let's kind of take a look at that. You've got the radar up. So kind of show us what we're looking at here.
So yeah, this cell's been kind of coming up through the Okeen and Loyal areas in Oklahoma. There actually is a tornado watch out for portions of, as you can see in this yellow area, portions of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. We have this renegade cell by itself. Right now, there's a severe thunderstorm warning for it. I believe this is until 6:30 p.m. Central. This has 6-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. So we're really seeing this rapid initiation on this cell itself. There's not really anything south of it. We have a little bit of rain here, and then really south of there, we're not really seeing a whole lot. So that's what we have for right now.
Awesome, yeah. So definitely our first of the day, and we've been looking at the models and everything like that. And earlier, you were kind of showing me why some of these storms really haven't quite taken off yet, and we've got a pretty strong cap in place here across much of Oklahoma. So let's kind of talk about the cap that we still have in place. I know we've got this one storm here in just now basically coming right over the Enid, Oklahoma area, but as you can see, we still have a pretty powerful cap across much of Oklahoma, but we are expecting it to weaken here in the next few hours. So that is definitely something that we are going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so the last few hours, there was really still a strong cap. You could see there's nothing, and that tells you the cap hasn't done anything. But these last couple hours, we started seeing these red lines, which means the the convective emission has been decreasing, slowly eroding, but not as fast as what we forecast. So that's why we're not seeing a bunch of multi-cells really near the supercell. It's all by itself and has the ingredients with the updraft helicity that it needs right now to become upscale.
Yeah, that's excellent analysis here. So,
and you can see that through the the tornado parameter and through the supercell composite. Like this area right here where it says 8, is that 16? That's your highest area of a supercell that can form and become severe. So that's pretty accurate for what we're seeing right now. This area up here where there's 12, 10. So that's where we're seeing those supercells starting to fire. I'm sure we'll see more as we get more toward the next hours if that cap breaks even more, but that's what we're watching right now.
Thanks, Rob. Awesome. Thank you, sir. So yeah, just like what Rob was saying here, here's a closer up view of that supercell composite index. So you can see here across eastern Oklahoma where Jeff's at right now. Things are still not quite favorable, but as we go forward in time here, we'll see these conditions become a bit more favorable. And we'll see that weekend. We'll even see this really start to strengthen even down across portions of the Wichita Falls area in the next really 4 to 6 hours. So, but overall, it will it'll become more favorable overall. So that's looking supercell composite. Taking a look here at our bulk shear, we have plenty of shear in place. I mean, we're talking 60 knots of wind shear here across much of Oklahoma. So that is definitely not a problem. Our cape, you can see here, taking a look at this, that we've got quite a bit of Cape.
Right.
And, 3,000 Cape here in portions of southwest Oklahoma. But obviously up here in northeast Oklahoma right now with that cap, thereby, not being able to see those storms kind of take off and stuff like that. Let's take a look at our surface observations right now. Real quick, we can see, 70-degree temperature here, 55-degree dew point here in the Tulsa area. Winds coming basically out of the south at about 20 knots. So really nice moisture return here coming in across East Texas, feeding up here into Oklahoma. Higher dew points further south you get here, even down into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, dew points in the mid-60s. And even up here into southeast Kansas, where that enhanced risk is, we're starting to see those dew points come up, getting into near the mid-50s across this area as well. So a lot for us to really keep an eye on this evening as we go through the night. But this area here is definitely going to be an area that we're going to have to keep an eye on. So let's kind of take a look back, Rob, at that storm that you're looking at here. What do you see?
Yeah. So right now it's still reported to have, I believe, half dollar size hail. The hail hasn't changed much. It is still trying to grow upscale. It hasn't changed much in structure, but definitely a lot of lightning. You can see these little lightning marks over here on the south side. A lot of lightning embedded into the supercell, so definitely be careful if you're near the area for lightning. But yeah, starting to make that northeastern turn, but we'll see what happens in the next 15, 25 minutes to next few hours for this area. We're expecting more cells to pop up soon.
Yeah, this is the first. It is going to be a pretty long night, I do believe, and that warning continues here. Again, if you're just joining us on the live stream this evening, this warning here goes for southwestern Kay County, northwestern Noble County, southeastern Grant County, and Garfield County. They're in northern Oklahoma. Oh, and east central Major County. Till 6:30 Central Time. So about another 23 minutes on this particular warning. Folks in Enid are probably getting a decent little hailstorm right now, especially on the north side here of Enid right now. So
let's check that really quick. Oh yeah, look at that right there. That's the vertically integrated liquid. That shows you where your hail and your rainfall and how big it's falling down. And definitely right here near Enid, seeing that higher chance of hail being put down. And the warning has said 1.25 inch hail, and I can verify that with my other radar. It's saying now 1.5 inch hail, 100% possible, 80% severe. So the hail is getting larger due to those,
that storm's growing upscale.
Yeah, due to the mid-level lapse rates, just the conditions of moisture. When you have moisture in the upper atmosphere, you get those bigger hailstones as they come down. So yeah, that's what we're seeing right now for this supercell.
Awesome.
So if you're near North Enid, you might want to be careful because there is hail coming down. You can see this little speck of pink. That's where the hail will most likely be. So right along 64. If any of these areas, you'll be seeing pretty large hail right about now, so just be advised for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob, for that analysis.
Problem. And the warning just got pushed up a little more. This area now cut off. So let's see what they're saying now.
Yeah, new warning issued on this.
Remains in effect till 6:30 for southwestern Kay, northwestern Normal, southeastern Grant, and northern Garfield counties. Still seeing 55 mile per hour. Moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Now they're saying ping pong ball size hail. So like we said, the hail is getting larger in 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So as you can see, 1.5 inch hail, that is about ping pong ball size hail. So that is the biggest threat right now, is the hail and the wind for this storm.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So
this storm is moving here off to the northeast as well. It's moving fairly quickly at about 55 miles per hour. So if you're up here in the Hunter area, northeast of North Enid, this is going to be headed up toward you kind of here between Hunter and Kremlin. That area here on the northeast side of Enid, Oklahoma, here on East 0320 along that road.
Oh, I just got a hail report. Our emergency manager reported 1 inch hail 1 mile west of Enid. So yeah, that's right about here. So that's accurate for what they were saying. So we are getting hail reports as this time. So now you know the hail is verified with this storm.
Yep, for sure. So it's definitely quite it's getting its act together still as we're looking
Yes.
into it. It's starting to get a little bit of that curvature to it, little kink in it there on the south central side. So not seeing a whole lot of rotation per se quite yet with this, but this one definitely could grow into that type of situation here. So definitely
Sure.
something we will be keeping an eye on.
Now, let's see
We've
if
got
we
a
have any
couple
new message
chasers
boards.
out here that are out ahead of this as well, it looks like. Let's see who's out
Yeah.
here. I think Ryan Pitt and Tyler Kurtz is out there, James Hilger. They're all out here on this storm. Is there anyone here in
Yep.
Enid on it?
One person, Gene Cropper.
Yeah.
And then we have one person named Ashley Barnett. So there's a few chasers on this I-60, which goes across.
Oh yeah, US 6064. Yep.
Exactly. So, got some chasers trying to get into that inflow, trying to see if they see anything. Probably just going to be just hail. We're not seeing much rotation, like I said. So, hopefully they don't get stuck in the hail shaft, because that would not be good.
Yeah. It's not looking super great there, but coming north, getting
No.
some rain there, it looks like.
A little bit of rain up here.
Yeah,
So,
on the
we'll keep
north
an eye on
side
it.
of it.
Not really seeing anything else. I have this little area over here, but it's just rain right now. Nothing to really talk about there. So, like I said, this whole entire system is really starting to get its act together. The cap's starting to break. If we get more of this type of supercellular structures, it could be a busy night.
Yes, sir, that it could be. That it will be for sure.
So, let's see if there's anything with the SPC is said. It looks like we just have that one tornado watch. We should go over it just really quickly so that everybody knows.
Yeah, let's
So
go
we do have a
ahead.
tornado
Let's
watch.
go ahead and go over this. Let me switch back over to the watch here on the stream. So real quick, before we go over the tornado watch, Rob, I'm going to go over the actual SPC outlook here with everyone.
There you go.
So you can see here we have this large enhanced risk area in the orange on the map here. And this includes much of Oklahoma, about the eastern half of Kansas into west central Missouri, including the Kansas City area, Topeka, down to Wichita, over to Salina, OKC, Tulsa, Joplin, all the way down here, almost to Wichita Falls and Ardmore, Oklahoma, all within this enhanced risk here. And then we've got this slight risk that kind of surrounds it, that really goes all the way back into Texas, and then here through much of southern Iowa is in this slight risk. And we're looking to see more of these storms here develop over the next 1 to 2 hours as this cap just continues to break across this area. So, but we do have, like Rob was saying, we do have a couple tornado watches, or a tornado watch that is issued. So Rob, kind of let's take us at a look at this tornado watch here that you've got. Can you close
So we got
the text real quick so we can see it?
Oh yeah, the area. Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, we got a special weather statement down here. Let's see what areas we got. So we got parts of North Texas, parts of Central Oklahoma, Northeast Oklahoma, and Southern Kansas until I believe, what time would that be? Midnight Central.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
so
hazards in play. I think they said up to 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts are possible because of the wind threat,
yep,
especially up
and
near
strong
here in
tornadoes are
Kansas.
possible as well within this watch, which is
Yes.
right here where this storm is that we are looking at.
Yeah. Well, let's look down here really quick of this special weather statement. See, we have a storm here that's starting to get active right near Wichita Falls, which we were mentioning earlier. So let's take a look at that really fast. This will be near the Cotton, southeastern Tillman, northwestern Clay, northern Archer, Wichita, and eastern Will Barker counties through 645. Tracking a strong thunderstorm 8 miles north of Mankins, Texas, moving northeast at 55. 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail, so it is getting into that criteria of a severe thunderstorm warning. So definitely one we have to keep an eye on. So if you're near the area, make sure you are seeking shelter from hail and winds.
Yeah.
So
So that's
I'm not
going
seeing a
to
lot.
continue to grow.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot right now, but it should grow upscale. I'm not sure what the Cape values are, but I know the moisture itself is really returning in this area, so we should start seeing upscale growth, like Joey was saying. Oh, look at that! New scan looks a little better right there. So
Yeah, that'll probably go severe warned here in the not too distant future, I would imagine.
yeah, I have this smaller area right here that's kind of just a speck of rain, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. That might be just anomalous propagation. So here's another lesson for you guys. If you see areas where there's no storms around and they look like this, like these little specks of reflectivity, this is not rain. This is actually what's called radar clutter. And sometimes it could be wind farms, sometimes it could be, flies, mosquitoes,
Insects, yeah.
birds. So when you see that and you see no storms around, that usually means it's not really storms. It's just the radar beam picks up, things that are like a propagation. So that's what that is.
Excellent, excellent point there, Rob.
Yeah. Let's take a look back at this storm up here. It looks like we have a storm right behind it starting to develop over here on the west side near 45 in
Yeah, I was
Carrier.
noticing
So
that as well. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But this storm here that Ryan Pitts on is looking pretty good.
yeah, it's starting to. You see any like hook echoes or any like velocity on it yet?
I'm not
Eh,
seeing any
not
significant
really.
indication of rotation yet.
No, it's trying to get that together as a storm, but not as like a possible tornado yet. So, oh, look at the hail though. That
Yeah,
hail's
that
starting
hail
to get
core is definitely going off. And it's
yeah,
starting
for
to get a
sure.
little bit of an appendage there on the southwest side, so it's starting to look better. We just need a little rotation, Just needs a little rotation
Yeah.
and might be able to do something.
Uh,
Keeping an eye on
this
some of these live streams as well. I know Ryan Pitt's out there, so he's kind of headed into that storm, and at least from what I'm seeing on his stream right now, I'm definitely not even quite seeing any interesting features. I'll just say that from his view. He's on the east side of the storm. Tyler Kurtz is out there as well, kind of behind him on the same road. So definitely one to keep an eye out here in the next 20, 30 minutes. So looks like James
definitely.
Hilger, he's on the north side of it, so at a
Ooh,
distance.
look at that
It's got a decent little, maybe a decent little angle
structure.
trying to form out ahead of it, looks like.
Yeah,
He's
for
in
sure.
Tonkawa, Oklahoma.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Like I said, the next couple hours should be a telltale sign because we were seeing the models, and a lot of them were saying storms that could just be one supercell in Oklahoma. So, if this continues this trend, this could be more than just
Yeah,
one
this
supercell.
might be the one. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. Like I said, not really seeing anything else in this area, just this obviously supercell. So we're still keeping an eye. Let's look down here near Oklahoma City. I'm not really seeing anything down here either. So we just have this special weather statement and this severe thunderstorm warning right now. So that's what we're seeing right now, and we will keep an.
Yes, we will keep an eye on these storms. Thanks, Rob.
So where are we seeing on the streams here, Joey? You have
Well,
James Hilger stream up. What are you seeing?
I'm looking at James Hilger's stream here real quick. He's on the north side of that storm, pretty far distance away right now from it, and you can see a good bit of cloud cover kind of out ahead of it. And when you look at that, you can actually take a look at the satellite view, and we can see
Oh,
this real big mass of
yeah.
just cirrus clouds in a sense overhead over much of Oklahoma. So it is pretty shrouded by clouds. Um,
Yeah.
we do have that warmer layer. That's what's causing the cap. We don't have those clear blue sunny skies. So
No.
that is definitely one of those inhibiting factors, where we get this cloud cover
Yeah.
and we don't get as much per se heating of the day, um, which can then in turn, limit us a little bit on storm initiation. That's exactly kind of what's happening here with this,
So
where
it's kind of like the whole like just right porridge thing. You don't want too much of a cap where there's no initiating, but you don't want a very weak cap to where it's too much mixing, too much of a messier, squall line forming quickly. You want just the right amount of inhibition to where storms can be supercellular, discrete on their own, and that's what we're seeing right now with this supercell. So
yeah,
definitely a decent amount of erosion with the cap right now. Not too much and not none at all.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's a good sign there.
Yep. And this storm, believe it or not, I mean, even with what's going on, we still have tennis ball size hail with this
Yes,
particular storm. So um, definitely
it
still
definitely.
plenty of severe threat with this. This is, headed through here. It's coming here into the Hunter area, which we mentioned earlier. So Hunter, you should be getting in on some of this hail here shortly in the next little while. And then it's going to eventually make its way probably south here of Lamont, kind of stay southeast of Lamont. Lamont might get on some of the rain. We'll have to see how far north this tracks. Uh, wow, look at that new scan that just came in, Rob.
Wow.
Definitely starting
Uh,
to see a little bit of. Kind of want
that
to keep an eye on
inflow
the
right there.
southwest corner. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
trying to get a little bit of a hook going. Let's take a look at our velocity, see if we've got anything here on this.
Eh.
Uh,
I mean, it's trying, but
yeah, yeah,
not really
not a
seeing a
ton. Yeah,
no. Maybe a little bit on that southern side, but it's very scattered. Yeah.
yeah,
So, uh, my other radar is showing 2.75 inch hail 100% across the board. So we're seeing definitely tennis ball size hail. That's
yeah.
3 inch hail for those of you who don't know.
Massive hail producer on this, and I'm sure that's
Yes.
why some of these storm chasers are trying to get out of the way, so they don't end up having to lose their windshield on this particular storm. So
As you can see, it's in that hatched hail area that we were talking about the other day, yesterday or the day before yesterday, I believe.
oh
Maybe it
yeah,
was yesterday.
exactly. That red area that you're looking at there, guys, on Rob's map here. So this is that hatched significant hail, which is telling us
Ooh.
that we could see hail greater than 2 inches in diameter or more anywhere within a 25-mile point. So
Looks like they extend. Looks like they extend this tornado watch to a little bit north for some of these counties. It looks like it doesn't tell me exactly what counties, but it has extended. Oh, here we go. Cowley, Harper, Sumner, Chautauqua, Elk, and Montgomery counties. If you're in those areas, the tornado watch has been extended up to your counties. So be advised.
thank you, Rob, for keeping us updated on that. I'm keeping an eye on some of these streams. Ryan Pitt is right now
Um,
the closest to that particular storm. Um,
yeah, it's
but I
looking
think
pretty
he's going
good,
to be
honestly.
headed back east and north on it.
Let's look back down on this one over here.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
especially where the
this one's
statement's that storm's starting to develop a little bit as well.
pain size hail, 50 mile an hour go. I mean, it's still trying, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Uh, Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything west of there, just this one, and then we'll look back up to OKC. Yeah, just the biggest two stories right now is this storm and the one that's in Texas, so that's what we're looking at. Yeah. This one is doing a good job, Joey, of staying discreet. Like this one is trying, but I think it's going to pass to the west.
Yeah, I don't see that merging in with that other storm
No,
at all.
I I don't at all as well. It's doing a very good job staying discreet, which is what you want from a tornado or a strong supercell. Is you want it to stay discreet. You want that appendage. That's a classic supercell. So
Yeah, I'm looking at Tyler Kurtz out there. He is on this storm, and from what I'm seeing on his stream, it looks like maybe a little bit of a wall cloud trying to develop on that storm right now.
I mean, there is a little bit of daylight left, about an hour and a half. So plenty of time to get pictures of this for sure. You're muted. Hello? Oh, okay. I hear you fine. Okay, let's look back at this guy. Trying, I'm telling him it is trying. It sure is trying.
All right, I'm back, Rob. So I don't know what's going on there. Whew, they're like kind of on top of each other almost. But yeah, like I was saying with that storm, there could be a little bit of rotation. Let me flip back over here to my camera here. Looks like we might be seeing a little bit of rotation trying to start to develop here with this particular storm. When I was looking at some of the streams here earlier, it was looking like there was maybe a wall cloud trying to develop here on this storm. So definitely going to keep an eye on this these next couple scans that come in.
Copy that. Yeah, keep an eye on it. You said there's a wall cloud or development?
It looks like a wall cloud was trying to develop when I was looking at some of these storm chaser streams out here. So
This area is looking interesting right here.
well, it's actually the southern area really is more where it's at, believe it or not,
okay.
than that velocity area that you're mentioning. Because when like that other area of velocity really is almost more of like a outflow boundary on the northern side of that storm.
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
They did put a new severe thunderstorm warning out for this storm. This goes until 7:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time for Kay County, northwestern Noble County, southeastern Grant County, and northeastern Garfield County. Again, we're looking at some massive hailstorm, destructive hailstorm, baseball-size hail, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, baseball-size hail on this storm, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This continues to move off. This is heading up here toward Tonkawa, the Interstate 35 corridor here in north central Oklahoma. So heading up toward Tonkawa and Blackwell, Ponca City, that's also in that new severe thunderstorm warning. Gonna pass here off to the north of Billings, it looks like. Billings. Hunter is getting absolutely pounded by some significant hail right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Definitely.
So
For sure.
but yeah, now up to
Yeah,
baseball size
for
hail
sh-
on this storm.
For sure, man. That's a very large. Oh, look at the new scan.
Yeah, new
Starting to see
scan just
some
came
just
in,
top.
which we're losing a little bit of that hooking feature that we were seeing. Um, Let me flip it back to you, Rob. I'm going to toss it back over to you so you can kind of continue to break down the analysis on these storms.
Yeah, so hooking feature we're not seeing as well, but we are still seeing some very large hail right near Hunter area. So if you're living on the east side of Hunter, please be indoors. Make sure you have your cars parked in your garage. Very large hail is falling in the area, baseball size hail, like Joey just mentioned. Like we were saying, this will be heading toward the Polk and Alcorn areas in Oklahoma, so make sure that you're preparing for that. As we look at the velocity, not seeing a whole lot, maybe a little bit on the southern side, but very broad right now. And then as we look at the VIL, I mean, look at that. Wow. That is some very heavy baseball size hail coming down at this time. So, like I said, if you're in the area, please make sure that you are taking shelter with the wind and hail that's going through this area at this time.
Yeah, it looks like some of the storm chasers are moving kind of back east a little bit. Probably going to be headed over toward Highway 15 there. They're doing a good job staying out of the hail. I will say that. Ryan Pitt and Tyler Kurtz and some of these other guys that are out there. James Hilger, he's up there near I-35. Still just kind of basically been sitting there waiting on this thing to come to him. So not a whole lot going on right now up there. A little bit of light rain up near Lamont, Oklahoma.
A lot of lightning.
In
A lot
that
of lightning
area.
on the northern side.
Oh yeah, a ton of lightning on this for sure. So, but yeah, Hunter, and then right here along Highway 74, it looks like that is there. If you're traveling along Highway 74, be advised there's a baseball-sized hailstorm basically about to move over that way. It does look like it is going to stay southeast of Lamont, Oklahoma. So the good news is, at least with this hail, so far it's over fairly rural areas.
Yeah.
So that is the good news. But if anyone's got any farms or anything like that out there, be mindful too. You also have to be mindful even of things like your cattle and stuff like that out in these areas.
Yes.
So.
Oh. New severe thunderstorm warning for that storm down in Texas. For southeastern Comanche, northwestern Jefferson, Cotton, southwestern Stevens, southeastern Tillman, northwestern Clay, and central Wichita County, so 715. This has 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail, so the wind has gone up, but actually they both have gone up, actually. This is moving at 55 miles per hour northeast, the same as the one in Oklahoma here. So if you're living in these areas, make sure that you are being careful and take shelter. Burke Burnett. Definitely be preparing soon to be in shelter and indoors. I'm not seeing a lot of hail in this, but it is definitely going to start trying to build for sure. I'm sure in the next few minutes we'll start seeing that pink in this area.
Yeah, that's a storm we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Also, if you're near Interstate 44 near Randlet, also make sure that you're watching this very closely. So heading basically toward your direction. It might pass just to the west of you, but you may get clipped by this southern side. Let's actually see where the hail is, because there's two, almost like two areas, like there's this area and this area. So that's where the hail is. The hail's going to be on the southern one. So this will be tracking right toward Burke Burnett. So Burke Burnett, please be advised that this hail core will be heading towards your location, most likely. So just a heads up there.
Thank you, Rob, for that update. Severe weather
No
coverage continues here on Extreme Weather Videos Live. So we're tracking these storms in Oklahoma. Tornado watch continues for these areas here till midnight Central Time.
Yeah.
We'll continue
We're still
to
expecting.
keep you updated.
Yes. See the storm up here. See what it's doing here. Um, looks like this northern side's starting to try to split off. Right near Lamont there. And it looks like this is starting to hook out again a little bit. Like not a lot, but maybe a little bit of a hook trying to form right here on the southern side of Hunter. So we're keeping an eye on that. Again, maybe a little bit here southeast of Hunter, but it's drying still. If you're near Salt Fork, definitely be ready for some baseball size hail like we mentioned earlier. South side of Salt Fork, that is. North side and central, you're going to be fine, but the south side for sure.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. Like I said, a lot of lightning embedded into the storm. So that's another thing as well. Tonko is still looking at possibly some hail as well. Blackwell for sure if that hail keeps up by the time it gets up to your area. But if you're in Lamont, the hail core should stay to your southeast, like Joey was saying. So probably just get some rain, some lightning, some wind. But looks like the forward flank's going to be really on this side where those winds are going to be the most intense, where the gust front is. So.
Yeah, I'm keeping
Southern
an eye
side.
on some of these live streams here, Rob, as well.
Oh, look at this, Joey.
What do you got?
New severe thunderstorm warning, not for Oklahoma, not for Texas, for
Kansas? Oh, wow, yeah. Right down there. In,
near Winter Springs and Oviedo.
Yep.
Looks to be your classic, Gulf Stream pop-up thunderstorm that went severe. So, my area is right around here near Tampa. Looks like we got stuff to our east. This one looks like it's actually trying to track toward my area there. So, but this isn't really the area we're watching. I just wanted to look at this severe thunderstorm and see what it was doing.
Yeah,
Looks like
definitely.
it's gonna
So,
be heading.
I mean, where's that headed to?
This is going to be heading toward Geneva, Florida, as well as, let's see, Naheb, Truck Corner. So if you're in those areas, just be advised. See what the hazard on this is, actually. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail. So just be advised for that if you're in the areas for Seminole and South Central Volusia counties. That goes until 8 o'clock. We have some cells to the west of it
there.
as well.
So yeah, even a little bit of severe weather popping off there in Florida this evening.
Yep. Back to Oklahoma, we're still watching this hail maker itself over here.
Yeah, it's basically headed up right here to where James Hilger is there by Interstate 35. He's kind of right in that area. Rain's starting to come down over there. Gonna be getting pretty heavy, so we'll probably want to hop on 35 and head south a little bit.
Let's see the track of this VIL hail. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of moving to that. Look at this area right here. That's probably where it's trying.
Good view there. I think it might go just north of Tonkoa.
Tonkoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that line, yeah.
35 there, just north
it's gonna
of
cross.
Tonkoa. Probably go up.
It's gonna go near
Tyner.
Eddy. Yeah, Tyner. Yep, that's a good point there. So just keep an eye on it. Anka City, you might also miss this if it goes more north than east, but if it keeps going east, you might get some of it. All right. So did they extend that severe thunderstorm warning, or is this the one they had out? No, they've had this out. Okay. Baseball size hail though. That escalated very quickly. So this cell right here, this is actually by itself. This one's kind of splitting off from this one here. This one's actually starting to get a hail marker on it.
Yeah, it is. I was just noticing that we've got a left mover there a little bit, splitting from the main.
We do have the left mover.
So that will probably become its own thing.
If you're living in Blackwell, keep an eye. That is heading right toward Blackwell. It looks like these. I wonder if these are gonna. This one's gonna get larger, and this one's gonna kind of like.
It's gonna go up there toward Deer Creek. It's gonna go through Deer Creek and Nardin. and like you said, eventually up toward
Blackwell.
Blackwell, and then I-35 up near Braman,
All that like
Oklahoma.
that's a lot of lightning.
Severe thunderstorm warning down there near Wichita Falls. Let's take a look at that
Okay,
guy
let's take
down
a look.
there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So
There you
this
go.
storm here has been developing here these last 30 minutes. And now it has its own severe thunderstorm warning.
Yes. 6 mile per hour wind gusts, half dollar size hail for southeastern Comanche, or northwestern Jefferson, Cotton, southwestern Stevens, southeastern Tillman, northwestern Clay, and central Wichita counties, so 715. Located 7 miles west of Burke Burnett. So if you're near Burke Burnett, make sure you are. Actually, you're gonna be on the south side, Burke Burnett. So your risk is just about to be done for this storm. But if you're near Randlet and looks like just southwest of Cookie Town, be advised.
Yeah, and then eventually headed up toward Walters as well. They're on Highway 277. It'll cross, is basically right up Interstate 44 right now.
And this is
So-
officially in Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Now.
It's crossed the Red River.
So Wichita Falls. See if there's any cells south of there. I'm not sure if there's any. Got this looks like outflow boundary maybe. Right here, possibly.
Yeah,
Fort
on the
Worth.
sun side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
So it's
fire
all
up that storm there just south of
Yeah.
Electra. Little storm firing up off of that outflow boundary.
Sure. Let's take a look at the VIL of that. It's trying to get together. I wouldn't be surprised if this starts getting large as it moves northeast into that more better environment. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
this is gonna have like a cold pool effect. So we might see decent hail, but if this uses too much moisture and energy, we might not see this as strong. But it's rapid moisture return, so it doesn't matter really. There's gonna be enough moisture right now for this because it's been so rapid. Yeah, see
Yeah.
that little green? It's starting to grow. So keep an eye on those two. You want to look back at the Oklahoma one really fast? See what's going on
Yeah,
there.
I'm keeping
Oh,
an
we
eye
got a
on
new
just
severe
taking
thunderstorm
another
warning.
second. I was looking at Michael Beard's out there on this storm here just north of Wichita Falls. I was just checking on his stream. Looks like getting a little bit of rain there, but not seeing any hail or anything quite yet. But definitely seeing the rain coming down. So I'll keep an eye on that. We also have, I believe this is Aaron Eastman. He's kind of out on that storm as well. On the northeast side of it, coming down I-44, it looks like. So good number of storm chasers out there today, which I'm not surprised. It's definitely one of those days where, if folks are able to be out, then they should be out. But yeah, let's kind of come back here on this northern storm. Take a look at that.
Yeah, it's got severe thunderstorm warning now for northwestern K and northeastern Grant counties until 7:30. This will be near Deer Creek, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour, a little bit slower than the one south. It has half dollar size hail, not really a wind threat, and that's expected because of south of it where the wind inflow is really blocking it to this storm. So that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. This will be near Chilocco, Blackwell Lake, Nardin, Braman, and Deer Creek. So if you're in those areas, be on the lookout for that the hail that's embedded into this smaller storm.
Thanks, Rob, for that.
And Joey, it looks like if you look at GR3, there's a TVS marker of 10 just on this south side. I'm not sure if that's propagation, but it's saying base is at 2100, max delta at 101. So we might be seeing maybe some type of rotation.
Yeah,
Take a look
I'm
really
trying to
fast.
see here.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
right there.
we definitely have a couple. We've definitely got some rotation here. I'm looking at
For sure.
Ryan Pitt. He's out there on that storm. I'm not seeing anything on his stream quite yet. Let me flip over here. Tyler Kurtz. Yeah, he's having some streaming issues there.
We just got a report from that Wichita Falls storm of 0.5 inch hail from a train spotter near Burke Burnett. So there's that. Let's see what the storm relative velocity looks like. Yeah, I mean, I see a little bit of rotation just southeast of Salt Fork, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
So we'll
thing
have to
is, we're
keep an eye
starting
on
to
that.
even 30 minutes ago, we weren't really seeing a whole lot of rotation on this, and now we actually are at least starting to. So the environment,
Starting to,
is
yeah.
becoming a little bit more favorable. Starting to see uh, some more of that wind shear kind of picking up and stuff like that. So
Yeah, definitely.
see if these can go.
Uh,
Did you see that new severe thunderstorm warning? Was this a new warning? Yeah, that just got issued. Or no, that was just issued a few minutes
where's
ago. You
that?
talked about this one up here near Kay County and Grant County on that northern storm. Yeah.
Yeah, we read that one
Okay.
just now.
I was making sure that we
Uh,
covered that.
We have a mesoscale discussion that I believe just came out here. Yeah, far north central Oklahoma. Oh yeah, this is the one that you read a little while ago. That's right. But just wanted to initial supercells impose a risk for very large hail and locally severe gusts. The threat should increase with northeastern extent. So we are seeing this increase, probably because of the low-level jet starting to strengthen. And look at that, it says it right there. With time, a strengthening low-level jet will force for ascent. So that's what we're starting to see
Yeah,
here
we're
as we
gonna
get
see
into the
that.
evening hours.
Yeah, this is gonna kind of ramp up here. I think kind of as it crosses into southeastern Kansas in the Arkansas
Yeah.
City area. So I mean, there's still definitely potential. We're also starting to see some storms trying to fire up here along that line there in Kansas. Starting to see a little bit of rain up there. So
And we have another mesoscale discussion as well here.
yeah, that's exactly
This
for
is
those
for
storms
portions,
there.
yeah, portions of Kansas. It's southeast Nebraska, watch possible. This scattered storms expected this evening. Hail is the primary threat. Some risk for a tornado is, looked at here. So we're keeping an eye on this area as well. This was that northern mode of that severe weather that we were looking at in the models. And look at this here near Kearney. I believe that's in Nebraska. Starting to see some multi-cells pop up here now, Joey.
Yeah, so they put a special weather statement out on that.
So we could see
I
a
do
severe
see that.
thunderstorm warning somewhere near east of Lexington, Nebraska. Probably this storm right here, but I wouldn't be surprised if any of these multi-cells did something.
Yeah, that one just north of Kearney is kind of a little bit off to
Yeah.
itself, but it'll probably get absorbed by that line. So
Nickel size hail, 50 mile per hour. Yeah, okay, it's getting there. So I'll have to keep an eye on that one.
this one
Like I said, a
down
lot of these
here
storms
near
are pretty quick.
Randlet is splitting as well. It looks like the very far southern one.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, the one in far southern Oklahoma. Not
Oh,
that
far
one. The
southern,
one
okay.
down near Wichita Falls. Yeah,
Oh yeah, look at that. You got this one down here.
it's kind of
And these are starting to split too.
split a little bit.
So, splitting supercells. This one, you got this left mover here. Let's look at the VIL for that. Okay, yeah, look at that. You got this one with the larger hail, and you have this one with starting to get some large hail here. So, that's just near Cookie Town, and this one is just southeast of Dexel. Sorry, no, Devil. DEVOL, southwest of Randlet. So keep an eye on that. Let's see what some of the rain has been the last hour. Got a little bit of light precipitation for this area here. Looking at about, I'd say about maybe like quarter of an inch. Not too much rain, but looking at that right now. So these are HP supercells. Joey, as you know.
Yep,
That's why.
a lot of them are.
New SVR for Kansas. That's gonna be that northern cell coming into Kansas now.
Yep.
So let's take a look at that really fast. Is this it? Yes. Southern Cowley and southeastern Sumner counties until 7:30. This one near Brahman, or 8 miles northwest of Blackman, northeast 55 miles per hour. This has half dollar size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So there we go. Yeah. So that will be crossing into the Kansas here in a little bit, probably next 10, 15, 20 minutes. Moving, these are moving pretty decent. I'm not
They're
sure
all
what the
moving at
low-level
like
jet is.
55 miles per hour, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure how strong that low-level jet is, but it's definitely increasing for sure.
Well, let me take a look.
925 millibar. See what it is right now. I mean, I knew these were going to be quick movers, but I didn't know they were going to be like 50, 55. I thought it'd be like 30, 35, but yeah. See this one down
So
here,
our
what it's doing.
850. Yeah, no, I mean, our 850 millibar winds are, 40 knots, Let me show
Okay.
you here real quick. I'm going to switch over off of your stream, Rob, over to
That.
what we're looking at here on the meso analysis. So we can see here, this is our 850 millibar and 500 millibar wind overlay. So the red wind barbs here, I know it's kind of a little bit busy, but these are your 850 millibar winds, and then the blue wind barbs are the 500 millibar winds. So really, even up here in northeast Oklahoma, we've got 45 knot low level winds, and then 55 knot upper level winds. So I mean, combine it, yeah, 50 knots. So that's why these storms are moving as fast as they are,
50,
because this
51 miles an hour.
wind shear it's pretty strong. I mean, even down here, far southeast Kansas, low level jet of 50 knots at 850
that's
millibars.
decent.
So 45. I mean, so we've got a good bit of, we've seen that low level jet kind of kick up here in some portions, especially there in southeastern Kansas, parts of northeast Oklahoma. It's kind of ramped up a little bit, which is helping to move those storms right along. Back to you, Rob, on the radar.
Exactly. All right, so we're looking at this storm down here in Texas, still having these three. This one really is starting to split, as you can see on the north side. You see that precipitation shield just in the middle. That tells me that these are starting to split. I'm gonna look at the velocity really fast. I mean, not seeing a whole lot here, but definitely starting to split. For sure. I mean, look at that. You have that hail core and you have this hail core. So, and then you have this one over here that's trying to get going. So a lot of splitting right mover supercells is what we're seeing. Wouldn't you agree, Joey?
Yeah, I definitely would. It is kind of interesting seeing, we've seen them kind of really both sets of storms kind of start and then and split off. So it is always pretty interesting to
These are
when
this
you get to see that.
yeah. This one's gonna be heading toward the Tyner area here soon. So if you're in Tyner, be ready for some baseball size hail. Let's see if they're still saying that actually for this warning. Yep, baseball size hail for Blackwell. So if you're in those areas, please make sure that you are preparing for that, because that will be near your area very soon here. Baseball size hail is strong enough to, put some decent dents on your car and even break windshields. So, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, we knew large hail was going to be a big impact. We were looking at those mid-level and low-level lapse rates, and we knew they were going to, overlap in this area, and that's where your big hail was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Storm Prediction Center put out, one of the reasons I'll say why they put out this enhanced risk was because of this significant hail threat for, excuse me, for today.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this is your classic, yeah, this is your classic dry line, supercell setup where you have these splitting cells that are coming up through the, from Oklahoma to Kansas, and you have, hail that can be very large. due to the nature of the environment it's in. So very classic Central Plains evening setup for sure.
Yep. And again, looking at the map here, you can see such a large area with that hatched area for significant hail,
Yeah, look at that.
stretching all the way up pretty much to the Kansas-Nebraska border, all the way down to pretty much I-20 there, between
Yeah.
Dallas and Abilene, Texas. So
Yeah, very large area for hail for sure. Significant hail, that is. But especially in this area where we have these severe thunderstorms, so that has verified with what the national or the special the National Weather Service has confirmed. So that's what we're watching. I wouldn't be surprised if they extend these tornado watches more north. Let me see what the tornado is. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if they put this more north there, Joey. Especially once it gets up to Wichita, you know, Topeka, even possibly if the storms are still lingering by that point. So we'll just have to see.
that we will have to see.
So this one's still going. This one's been
Yeah,
going
that
since
one's
we've
starting
been.
to get a good little hook to it there
Oklahoma.
on the southwest side. I'm going to check in on some of these
Yeah.
streams here real quick.
Oh yeah, look at that. Some scatter rotation. Start to see it right there.
On this because it's about to cross Interstate 35 near what is that near Tonkawa. It's definitely about
Yeah.
to cross just near Tonkawa. So looking at Ryan Pitt's stream,
Niner as well. It should pass Tonkawa to the north.
yeah, I think he's he's in Tonkawa. So.
Yep. Looks like we have someone else on the channel with us here.
Oh, Jeff, awesome. Welcome
in,
Jeff. Yeah, so hopefully I'd love to get to hear I know obviously things didn't quite pan out there in Tulsa and these storms are going up into southeastern Kansas, but still Tulsa is under that tornado watch till midnight. So there is still that potential that some of these storms off further to the southwest will eventually make it into the Tulsa area, I think, later this evening, potentially into the early morning hours. There, say 11 p.m. midnight. So, going to be a long evening there in the Tulsa area, waiting and watching on these storms off to the southwest. Rob, looks like we got a new mesoscale discussion. What's Storm Prediction Center telling us with this mesoscale discussion?
For portions of southwest Oklahoma into extreme northwest Texas, we are still seeing the continuation of this tornado watch for the southern areas. Splitting supercells, which is what we're seeing on the radar, initially with the risk of very large hail and severe gusts. This will gradually increase with time and northeastward extent. They are evolving ahead of the dry line along the Red River in southwest Oklahoma and extreme northwest Texas. We're seeing shear of 50 knots from the 0 to 6 kilometer range and with mostly straight hodographs for the FDR, which is Frederick VWP data.
Yeah. So yeah,
Low
those
level
wind drone
jet
files, like
strengthening.
I was talking about earlier, seeing a lot of that, 50, 55 knot levels on the 850 and the 500 millibar winds coming in. So keeping a close eye on this storm here near Tonka. Yeah, we got a little multiple clusters there on that storm there, Rob, that you're looking at.
Yeah, right near Randall and Temple there. So keep an eye on these multi-cells here, trying to get their act together. Jeff, if you're listening, these ones might make it up to your area there near Tulsa, so be on the lookout of that there, sir. So, I'll have to see.
Yeah, James Hilger is here near Ponca City, Oklahoma, checking out his live stream. Looks like he is there, I think he's headed westbound, there toward Tonka area. Yeah, he's
look at
between
this
Ponca
hook.
City.
Look at this hooking.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
appendage
It's
here,
definitely
Joey.
starting to look interesting.
Yep.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
for sure. So again, yep, just on the northwest side of Tonka, that's going to cross 35. There could easily be a tornado getting put down with that here any minute. I would not be
Yeah, I
surprised. They'll
would.
probably issue a tornado warning on that for radar indicated rotation at
Yes.
least.
I would agree. A lot of lightning in the base of the storm, as you can see near Tyner. If you're in Tyner, you're getting hail, lightning, and wind right now. The leading edge is right here on the south side of Tyner, so that wind is really coming in through that area.
Yeah, and if you're in the northern side of Tonka, especially, and you're looking to your west, you may be seeing a little bit of rotation on that. I'm looking here on some of these streams, just seeing if we're seeing any sort of wall cloud or lowering. Um,
Uh,
so far, it
if this
doesn't
track
look like it, but it's
continues,
definitely trying to
yeah,
do something here. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on some of these storms here as it comes into the Tonkawa area, and then eventually the same will be headed over here toward Ponca City. So here I-35 south of Blackwell near Tonkawa. Just be in mind that there is this strong storm that is starting to show signs of rotation that is going to be crossing the interstate here shortly. So seeing a much stronger hook with this storm here now than we were even 10 minutes ago.
uh, yeah. Give me 1 second here.
Okay, I'm looking at Tyler Kurtstream. Definitely looks like maybe a wall cloud trying to develop a little bit on that.
Hey, Jeff said he can't talk. So Jeff, try leaving the channel and coming back. I just gave you a chaser roll there, sir.
Oh yeah, he's gonna need that role in order to speak.
There we
There we
go.
go.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't have permission to talk there. That's all right though.
My apology.
So Jeff, what are you thinking for this evening there in Tulsa with some of these storms that we've been looking at coming up from the southwest? Some of them are looking pretty good.
Yeah, those around Lawton, they're definitely going to ride I-44 all the way through OKC Metro probably, and if they hold together, hopefully long enough, they'll end up in the Tulsa area. Any other initiation along the I-44 corridor and 35 south north is definitely going to make it to eastern Oklahoma later tonight.
Oh, yeah. For sure, definitely. That's what it's looking like.
This storm over here, I'm not sure if y'all are watching my feed over here, but it looks like the storm here near Tonkawa definitely has a little bit of an interesting feature. Definitely seems to be trying to get a little bit of a lowering going, wall cloud development. So gonna
Copy
really
that, yeah.
be keeping a close eye on this storm here in the next 10 minutes or so.
The storm relative velocity looks pretty interesting too. It's definitely got some good inflow into it. There's nothing to the south to prohibit it, so it's got all the energy it can want.
Yeah. There you go. Oh,
You're
yeah,
talking
it's
about this
definitely-
one near Tonkawa, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah,
this one
Tonkawa.
down here near Tonkawa. It's definitely has a well-defined lowering on it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Right there near Tonkawa.
I don't know what he's doing.
The
I'm
HRRR
surprised.
was showing a decent sell just about all day long until the last few model runs before 5 o'clock, and then it just disappeared. So,
And it reappeared for the 21Z.
yep.
So it's
Yeah.
been very uncertain. It's probably because of the moisture return and because of the additional tornado threat that we've been seeing all day. They didn't know if the cap was going to break. So that's probably the main reason why it was so inconsistent.
But you also had, Jeff, what's the cloud cover been like in your area? When I was looking at some of the satellite imagery earlier, I mean, it looks really kind of fairly overcast there. Has it been pretty overcast today?
It has been, other than early this morning up until about 11 a.m., it has been overcast with just small breaks of sunshine here and there. Out to the west, it was definitely, they had some more warming with just some high cirrus clouds, but we've been packed in all afternoon.
Yeah.
Here we go, Joey. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here near Grand Island, Nebraska.
There we go.
Ooh, wow, look at these multi-cell clusters. All right, so we got the new severe thunderstorm warning for central Hamilton, eastern Buffalo, west central Merrick, southeastern Howard, and northern Hall counties till 7:45. This is moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour, which makes sense because the low level jet hasn't gotten to there yet. Hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. So if you're near St. Library or Livery, please just be advised these multi-cells will have quarter-size hail coming towards your area there. They probably SVR'd this big one down here by Cairo. This one has
Yeah.
a special weather sequence. They're overlapping each other, it looks like.
Yeah, but they're definitely warning for this one near Cairo. You're absolutely right. I mean,
Ooh,
that thing is just
it's getting
really starting to blow up, and
Ooh.
also starting to get a little bit of a appendage on it. So heads up, northern suburbs of Grand Island, Nebraska. That's a little concerning
Sure.
there on that latest scan there. So
What was their tornado risk say? Let me check that really fast. Oh, they were only in the 5%. Or no, 2%.
no, they're in the 2%
Wow.
up there. Yeah, but
And
again, 2% can do it. It can definitely do it.
Yeah, that was the area we were more certain about for convection was that northern mode, which was Nebraska-Kansas border. So, looks this one back here has a little bit of an appendage as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that also.
Well, some of these actually, believe it or not, Rob, this is an excellent teaching tool. Switch over to your velocities real quick because these actually might be hail spikes that you're seeing. That one looks like a hail spike.
Let's check. Oh, you're right. It is a hail spike. Interesting.
Yeah, so sometimes that's the other thing on the reflectivity, what you think is a quote unquote appendage. Actually, it can be a hail spike coming that the radar beam's picking up or whatever.
So the best way to verify would be the VIL. If you see no VIL for where the rotation is, that means you most likely have a tornado or a funnel. But if you see it, then it's most likely a hail spike, right?
Possibly, yeah. So definitely do want to keep
Let's-
an eye on that storm there in Grand Island. What they say the hail size on this is only 1 inch. It's got. I'm sure it's getting big quick.
Quarter size hail. Yeah.
That's probably
Oh.
this last game. I'm sure it's gone up. So
We got a report of 2-inch hail from that Lamont storm down in Kay County from public hen egg size hail 2 inch. So yeah, that's some pretty big hail, that storm we were looking at earlier.
yeah, we're still keeping an eye on this storm here south. Got these storms here south of Lawton, Oklahoma as well. They just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning out here east of Lawton now for this cell down near Rush Springs. Rob, can you read out that warning for us?
Sure can. Severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Comanche, west central Garvin, southern Grady, northeastern Cotton, and northwestern Stevens counties till 7:45. This is located 11 miles east of Geronimo, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail at this time.
Yes,
So yeah, that one's starting to look pretty decent.
It's just west
Sure.
of Duncan and pretty much going to be coming right over Central High and then up here toward Rush Springs, that area. Probably will skirt Marlow. We'll have to see how it develops in the next 10-15 minutes, but new severe thunderstorm
well-
warning with that storm now.
For sure. Now, I wanna
So
see
in
some more
total
info.
now we're up to 6 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board right now. So things are definitely starting to pick up the later into the evening that we go. So thanks for
Joey.
being on here.
Just be advised, my other program is showing for that Cairo storm in Nebraska, 1.5 inch hail, 90% across the board, and the one to the northeast, north of Chapman and Grand Island, also 1 inch hail and 90%, possibly 70% severe hail.
10-4 on that. And also now a new severe thunderstorm warning. So yeah, now they're starting to kind of warn these individual cells just south of that other one right there near Duncan. That's a new severe thunderstorm warning, that middle one, Rob. Yep.
This one.
Yeah.
I see that. Let's read that one. Northwestern Jefferson, northeastern Cotton, and Stevens counties until 8 p.m. Moving northeast at 45. This will be near Walters. Gulf size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for that one.
Yeah, so I mean,
Hey,
some
see that?
massive
there, yeah.
hailstorms starting to develop on these.
See the VIL? Oh, yeah. It's a little bit off, but it's probably still trying to update. So, yeah, look at that, man. That is pretty decent hail coming down there. So,
Yeah.
definitely have to keep an eye on that.
Yep, looks like
Yeah, a lot of
Michael
these
Bea's out
are-
there.
A lot of these are
A little bit of breaks in
are
the clouds
break-
down there on those.
Yeah. Yeah, what are your thoughts on these storms? These ones may... No, those ones might go west of you.
Chasing coolies.
But,
coming up
this-
on that.
This right-moving one might come near you. This one, that's what we were just looking at. This one might come more east. So what's your thoughts on that?
My app's not letting me look at your screen there, Rob. What are we looking at? Lawton?
Down near
The severe
yeah.
thorns. Yeah, right near Temple, Oklahoma. The middlemost supercell. Down there
Gotcha.
in
Yeah.
southwest.
So the wind speed direction's all been to the northeast, so it's definitely going to shove everything to the northeast.
Yeah.
35, 45 knots. Anything out to the west is obviously overnight going to move east.
Yeah. Copy that. Looks like we have another new severe thunderstorm warning, I believe.
Yep, got 8 now.
Where was that one?
That's
there.
right here on the Oklahoma-Arkansas border. That one north of Ponca City.
Arkansas. Oh, Arkansas City. Okay.
Yeah, Arkansas City, that guy right there.
Ah, I see. Oh, look at
The
that.
one south of
looks
it,
pretty-
the one south of it that's coming up into,
Oh, this one?
yes, that one. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. This one is going to be for northern K County until 8, moving northeast at 45. Golf ball size hail again. So,
Yeah, the rotation on that particular storm's kind of lost a little bit on some of these
Yeah.
latest scans.
that was the
Maybe
big
trying
one we
to
were watching
cycle, but
earlier.
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
like
actually
right
going to be
here.
able to put one down or not. And that's what we were talking about earlier. That one with that one updraft helicity track in this area.
Yeah.
Thus far, though, we have not had any tornado warnings on this storm. But definitely, regardless, I mean, absolutely massive hail.
Yes.
Just east of, kind of between Blackwell and Kildare, coming up here toward Newkirk. Newkirk's gonna probably get blasted by that hail core.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Looks like we got a chaser right on this. Looks to be Rodney Prince right to the east of that hail core. So
yeah,
couple chasers on that I-11 or State Road 11 or wherever that is. Thomas Nepshield. So yeah,
yeah. There's a couple of
Hopefully
them
not-
out there.
hopefully not in that hail core too bad because that will wreck your car. We don't want that.
Yeah. So far, Jeff doesn't have to worry about his car getting wrecked. 'Cause
Hail went down a little bit. It was pink earlier. Now it's starting to get that like dark red more. So maybe trying to cycle the hail shaft again. We'll see.
yeah, let's see what the.
Let's see what this one in Nebraska. Let's see what that one's doing. Oh, this is a new special weather statement. I think. I don't think I've seen this before. Yeah, got some multi-cells over here. Keep an eye on those.
Yeah.
Wind gusts of 50 to 50. Okay, so it's getting there for the wind threshold, but it's not quite there.
Yeah. looking here at my screen, Rob, I'm looking at the Cape here across Oklahoma, and really just trying to look at what we're looking at for the next 6 hours. So we are seeing that Cape increase there, even into northeast Oklahoma, between the next 4 to 6 hours. So the Cape increasing and that cap reducing, and then looking at, see what our if our height falls at all. LCL, what our LCL heights have been. Pretty decent. I mean, 1,000 meters, 750. So, not super low LCL heights out there today.
How are the the significant hail parameters right now?
Let's take a look at our significant hail parameter. Decent,
Oh, look
believe
at
it
that.
or not. Especially this one
Decent,
that's
decent.
down in southern Oklahoma. It's moving into a better environment, actually. Let's see what our change is going to be like.
Ooh, look at that. Ooh, 3.
Yeah. And look down here
5
in
down there, but-
Texas. Look at these 5s and 6s down here
Yeah.
in
The
Texas.
only thing is,
they're gonna
I don't think we'll see storms down there, will we? I don't think there's a risk down there.
Well, there is west of Dallas.
Oh,
That
copy that.
risk goes all the way down. I mean, if you look at the outlook for today,
Up, new severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, in Nebraska.
I mean, this
Right,
risk
so that's
is
south.
basically. This is the hail risk. It basically goes all the way down to the Mexico border. You can see here.
Ooh, Joey, look at this.
Oh, that is looking rather interesting there near Grand Island. Is that storm that we were watching
Yep.
earlier?
Let's see what they're saying on this one. Severe thunderstorm remains in effect till 7:45 for central Hamilton, West Central Merrick, Howard, and northern Hall counties. This will be near Cairo, or 9 miles northwest of Grand Island, moving northeast of 35. Ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I want to see the rotation though on this. Oh yeah, look at that, right there, just southwest of Abbott. Decent little rotation.
Yeah, there's some in there.
A little bit. That hook, man.
I know, it looks beautiful.
That
And
hook
even
is
the
looking
storm
pretty good.
behind it,
Yeah. Is
if you look at the storm
Yeah, I
kind
mean-
of southwest of it, that's looking pretty good too.
look at that. That is some heavy hail coming down. That white pixel right there. So just a little lesson for you guys. DBZ, which is decibels of Z, measures the precipitation, like I guess strength. So the lighter greens and blues signify light rain and drizzle, and these purples and pinks and whites and grays are most likely heavy, large hail coming down.
Yep.
That's a little lesson for you guys. A little radar lesson for those of you who don't know. So when you see those whites and pinks, that's your hail shaft. It's dark red, pink, and white area. That's where your hail is going to be the most intense, basically.
Yes, sir.
So, and this one is looking really good. Let's see. This one might be severe next. This one looks decent. We'll see. All right, let's look back down to where Kansas. What do we got in Kansas right now? What's this? Did we read this already? We did. Okay. So, soon we'll be able to use the Wichita radar to see these cells up here.
Yeah, that storm there near Ponca City still trying to do something. It's trying.
Yeah, it's trying for sure. I
Fine, but
mean,
it's all those storms they're pushing way too far off the dry line. They're outrunning their
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
yeah, they are. They're going way too fast.
The dry line's still sped up way west of Enid.
Yeah, it's too much mixing. It's going too much. Yeah, because if you look at the let me actually go down here. If you look at what the supercell looks like, if you look just at the south where the inflow is, you see a little bit of that light blue. It's not clear. So the inflow is, it's getting in there, but it's way too east of where that dry line is. It needs to be west. So, yeah, it's going too fast for sure. So, keep an eye on it though. Could still do something.
Sells down by Lawton, they'll definitely have a better
Yeah.
chance to produce. I think they're
Oh,
close to the dry line. They actually have a little
Yeah.
bit more moisture too.
Yeah, these are just two. And a lot of hail. That's one positive, right? It's just it doesn't have the tornado potential right now. It's trying though, but it's failing right now. See how that Nebraska storm looks up here. Again. Joe, you still with us?
Yep, I sir am.
Yeah, it's still looking pretty good. The rotation now. Yeah, it's right here near Abbott. I'm starting to see something.
Oh yeah. It's just
Look.
south of that
Look at that.
hill core there.
Look at that hail, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, question is when will we get the first tornado warning and where will that be? That's the question.
That is the magic question of the day.
The night rather.
I've got
now.
a feeling it's probably going to be South Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. That
I-
storm that you were looking at up in Nebraska, that one
That
is
one
looking
near
pretty
Grand
mean
Island
too.
definitely piques my interest, for sure.
Yep.
New
That's
Which
Surrey
is
definitely-
interesting because that's in
Thunderstorm
that 2% tornado risk area, Jeff.
Yep.
Yeah, I know,
Always the
right?
2%er to get you.
Yeah. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 8 for northwestern Jefferson, northeastern Clinton, and Stevens counties. Moving northeast 45. Ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Transpires report quarter-inch hail 1 mile east of Walters. So there's that.
Yeah, this guy here. Let me pull this up on Radar Scope.
Yeah, this Nebraska one's got my interest the most right now. The newer scan still looks pretty good, but it's kind of starting to close up a little bit on that southern side. But it's still pretty much has that hook shape.
Looking at the 23Z HRRR data for the significant tornado parameter. For the OKC Metro, it really ramps up about 10 Zulu, actually about 8 Zulu. So what time is that?
Next hour, 8 Zulu. Okay, so that's like
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah.
yeah, 2
after
a.m.
after midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight,
That's what's concerning me the most is our environment explodes after midnight. I mean, just goes nuts.
It's that low-level jet that's strengthening, man.
Rob, look at I'm looking at this Grand Island storm up here on Radar Scope, and you can definitely see. I mean, it does look beautiful.
It's
Even
got
going
the look.
behind it. I mean, look at that. Look at those two storms back to back on Radar Scope.
Semi-discrete supercells on the same line.
Yeah.
Yep. That almost has like a embedded supercell type of look, but there's a little bit of a clearing just to the west of that one that we're looking at. But yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's,
this
it's
guy
the
over
best
here?
looking one. Yeah, there's a little bit of a clearing to the east of that in the west.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, I don't know if it's gonna stay semi-discrete like that, but if it does, I mean, we could definitely see some decent.
Yeah, it's kind of off to itself
Jeff,
a
have
little
you-
bit.
Jeff, have you checked the updraft helicity for Nebraska? Is there any tracks, or are they all like lower?
Let's take a peek because we're still getting data for 23Z.
Yeah, we'll have
It,
00Z, which is the full model soon.
Yeah.
Pull it up on my screen while he's looking at it, and Jeff, I'll let you kind of discuss it. So, are you on the HRRR?
Look at
I'm
all that.
assuming, Jeff.
Yes. HRRR, we're looking at 23 Zulu.
Yep.
Nebraska,
So
I mean, yeah,
Central
it does
US.
get you some good helicity tracks. Central Nebraska looks like 3
Are you
Zulu.
looking at the
03
0 to
Zulu.
1 km or the 0 to 3 km?
03.
0 to 3. Okay.
Yeah, that's one I look at.
All right. Let me.
It
flip
also
my
shows
screen
the,
over.
it shows that mesocyclone that is running through Tonkawa right now, going all the way into Missouri too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two storms in central
look at
Nebraska
that.
definitely have a good helicity track, and Kansas
Yeah.
is looking like it's going to get torn up at some point.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look
you
at
can
that.
see
Look at that
Kansas
one,
City.
Oklahoma. Wow.
That is the one
Yeah.
that's what I'm worried about. Our like I said, our environment is going to explode after midnight, and if we do get
Yeah.
those storms that are in Lawton right now, if they continue, they're just going to get stronger as the evening goes on.
Yeah. Right here. I mean, this is basically this whole updraft helicity tracks, just basically near and just south of Tulsa, possibly, according to this data that we're looking at here. But yeah, like you're saying, Kansas. Look at these here. It just
Wow.
explodes here in Kansas.
How's the SIG tour parameters for
Let's
Kansas?
take a look. Sig Tour.
Okay, they're better in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, look
Yeah,
at look at
Oklahoma.
Oh, look at
Oklahoma
8Z,
at
9Z.
06 Zulu.
that. It blows up after dark,
Yeah,
man.
right after midnight. There's midnight, 11 p.m., midnight central, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4
Look at
a.m.,
that.
5 a.m.
That's why I'm concerned, because our
Yeah.
environment just explodes after midnight.
It's got all the ingredients it needs now that low level jet is strengthening.
Yeah, it's right after midnight.
You got the cape and you got the moisture. You just need the lift to get its act together.
Let's come here to Tulsa area. Just look at one of these. Yeah, tours.
Or-
Barely any.
A lot of these,
Barely any cap.
barely. A lot of these photographs have been elongated as well. Like especially earlier on today, I was seeing a lot of them in Oklahoma and Kansas.
Yeah, it looks
We
like
have a
the
new severe thunder.
tornado threat
Yeah.
though diminishes there. Go ahead, Rob. I'll switch back
Yeah.
over to you, sir. You got a new severe thunderstorm. What are you saying?
We have a new severe thunderstorm watch. Yes. Let me get that.
Oh
up here in a
yes,
minute.
there it is.
Yep. Far southwest Iowa, northeast Kansas, far northwest Missouri, and southeast Nebraska till 3 a.m. Sky large hail and isolated very large hail events, 2.5 inches diameter likely. Sky damage and wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour possible, and a tornado or two are possible. Coverage is expected to increase over the next few hours as a surface low associated with cold front move into the region. Environmental conditions support potential for strong to severe thunderstorms capable of large to very large hail and strong winds. A limited but non-zero tornado threat could materialize over parts of northeast Kansas. So, there you go.
Yeah, these SRH values here are just crazy. I want to look at the 0 to 1 km.
Yeah, look at that. The helicity is just, whew. Man, look at that.
I mean,
Purple,
300,
red.
400, you know, here and then it weekends after like 2
Nope.
a.m.
No problem with wind shear at all.
Yeah.
So just for viewers, the helicity track is a projected track of where a mesocyclone would travel over time.
Oh, look at that second round. That
Yeah,
wasn't
right
showing
here.
before.
That's at 10Z.
Yep, that's early tomorrow. So there's two rounds. There's the round of semi-discrete we're having now, and then there's another round that congeals.
Yeah, these are all those
Interesting.
semi-discrete cells.
That's round one.
And
We
look
got
at
the
all
wind
this in
threat in
Kansas here at right at midnight here in central
Embedded
Kansas. Like
supercells.
that's just lined up, man. Lined up in central Kansas.
Ooh. Uh, oh, go back a little bit. There's some cells in front of the line. Yeah, right there. See those three
Oh,
in
right
front of
here.
the line in Kansas?
Yeah.
Yeah, check
Yep.
those. What are those looking like?
Tor
Okay,
sounding.
Tor, not bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
really not
photograph,
bad.
man. That's
Yeah.
picture perfect almost photograph.
Yeah, because you got your surface winds off to the south-southeast, basically. I mean, look at this low-level jet, man. 50 knots. You know? Like,
That's
you
what
want to
you
talk
want,
about a
man.
pumping low-level jet. Doesn't get much better than that. Even though your dew point's only, 64 and 61. Let's look, kind of come here to the southwest
What about
a little bit.
southern one?
Same thing.
Another great
Not
photograph.
quite as good, but still really good.
No,
I mean,
dew points are a little
significant
too low.
yeah, but still, I mean, also massive hailstorms. We're talking 2.5, 3 inch hail on some of
Yeah.
these. So it is going to be a long evening for these folks out here in Kansas, Western Missouri,
Look at
and Oklahoma.
all that old core stuff in Iowa, eastern Iowa.
Oh yeah. Kind of want to see what's going on down here at.
That's looking
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That is a big supercell. Oh, that goes through a Boeing segment.
Yeah, basically combined into a Boeing segment
Wow.
and goes up.
That's gonna go
Look
through
at this
your, if
line
that
that's
verifies,
coming
that's gonna go
through.
through his area.
Look at that line moving through tomorrow morning through eastern Iowa into northern Missouri.
That's
So-
that wind threat we were looking at for western Missouri, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back just a few frames to 10Z. Let's see what we're looking like at 10Z. 10Z
Still
there.
tornado.
Yep, still tornado. Very minimal cap. Very minimal cap
Yeah.
between right around 800 millibars. So they're
Yeah.
in Tulsa. So let's look at the surface-based
Interesting.
Cape and photographs.
Okay. Wow, look at those curvatures.
Yeah. And look at Tulsa.
They have some
here.
pretty good.
Definitely a
Got
whole
that
lot of
seat.
Fisher.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. It's got that C shape
Like
you
right
want
there, there's that fish hook for you, man. Right over Tulsa and then down to
That's
what is this? Ardmore area, southeast Oklahoma,
yeah.
even up here into southeast Kansas. So this whole area is really good. Even here into northern Texas, northeast Texas, looking really good.
Your long view.
Yeah, this is 60. So yeah, like Jeff's saying, basically 2 a.m., 2 a.m., it really ramps up.
Wow. Those
Look
those
how
photographs
long
look
it
great.
gets.
Very elongated, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you go from 1Z and watch the Tulsa photograph, 2, 3, just keeps getting longer. I mean,
Yeah.
2Z, 3Z is really good. And it just kind of slightly curves there a little bit by 6Z. So,
So 2 and 3Z look the best.
yeah. And
Wow.
by there, they're basically the cap's basically negligent at that point. So,
These are very HP.
well, yeah, I mean, PW value is over 1.4, so, yeah.
Very HP supercells. Yep. Yeah. How's the bulk shear looking like late, like 6, 7, like what you're looking at now? Okay. I mean, 70, 60. Wow. Look at that red
Yeah, it's over
And
there,
for the
but that's
dry line.
behind it.
on the dry line, yeah.
Jet kicking in.
And
It's still
So
pretty.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's mentioned it, but Arkansas NWS Little Rock issued a PDS flash flood watch for almost the entire state of Arkansas earlier.
Really,
I
I
didn't see
did
that.
not. I knew that there's obviously flooding has been a massive concern there they're supposed to get, I think, like 6 to 12 inches, basically,
A
is
lot of rain.
what they're forecasting. So, Robert, toss it back over to your screen and kind of take a look at that. Pull up NWS Little Rock.
One of my other storm chase buddies sent me a screenshot of it earlier. We can't
Eric?
remember the last time that we've seen a PDS flash flood watch.
Yep. Yeah, flood watch. Yeah, let me share my screen here real quick. This is pretty interesting. So here's that exact wording that he's talking about. Flood watch now in effect from Wednesday afternoon through Sunday morning. And
Yep.
there it is. You know, this is a particularly dangerous situation.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very big flooding event. Like I said in my video earlier today, man, it's all those training thunderstorms. You got, high pressure that's locked up in the east and the northwest of there, and just gonna be multiple rounds of rain.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Constant training supercells, thunderstorms, just rain all
Yeah, I mean,
week
look
for
at
that
this.
area.
Expected 6 to 10 inches of rain. Isolated pockets, 12 to 15 inches of rain. Has a return interval of anywhere from 25 to 100-year floods. So, within 4 days,
Gotta be
happens
nuts.
once in a generation to once in a lifetime. So, yeah.
I hate to leave you guys, but I gotta drop off.
2025, y'all. 2025. The weather's just been
Yeah.
going crazy. You know.
What was that, Jeff?
I gotta drop off here. It was good being with you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping
All right,
on,
man.
Jeff, and
Stay
stay
safe
safe
tonight.
tonight, man. Keep us updated and ping us if you need anything.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be a late night, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
We'll probably hop
we'll
off
be,
here in a little bit and may have to wake up, at midnight and check in on things. So. All
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna set an alarm for sure.
Get a
Yeah.
I
little
want to
power
know that
nap
it's
for-
coming before it's here.
For sure. For sure. Thanks for checking in with us, Jeff. Great having you on the stream tonight.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
All right. So that was
You
our
too.
storm chaser, Jeff Essenbacher, joining us from Tulsa, Oklahoma. They are expecting significant severe weather late tonight into the overnight hours there in northeast Oklahoma. What we were just taking a look at here for that area as that low level jet maximizes. We see those updraft helicity tracks just going pretty insane in that region later this evening. So folks in northeast Oklahoma definitely need to, really in all of Oklahoma and Kansas after midnight, it's going to be potentially one of those deadly severe weather events that we have for this region overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Wouldn't you agree, Rob?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not just only this setup, but just the whole entire week. We have at least a slight risk for the rest of the week this week, man.
Yeah. Let's
We have a
can you
moderate.
walk us
moderate
through
risk
these
month.
next couple days? I know we have this weather ongoing, but on your screen, Rob, can you kind of walk us through the next few days?
Yeah. Of course. So, tomorrow, as you can see here on my screen, we have a moderate risk for portions of Arkansas, northwest Mississippi, western Tennessee, parts of the Missouri Boot Heel, parts of Illinois, parts of Indiana, and western Kentucky. The biggest threat for this area is going to be tornadoes, wind, and hail. As you can see from the day 2 tornado risk, the biggest concentration of tornadoes is going to be anywhere from Shreveport all the way up to, looks like just south of Toledo, Ohio. So you'll be seeing some pretty intense tornadoes all through the area, a mix of semi-discrete and embedded supercells from what they're saying. As we look at the wind for tomorrow, the most extensive wind is going to be from El Dorado, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, all the way up into Michigan, Bay City again. So Michigan going to have another day tomorrow of intense wind gusts, even in parts of Wisconsin. One of our admins are in this for this intense wind for tomorrow, parts of Chicago. So, and then as we look at the hail, hail's going to be a little bit more south. Portions of Chicago, Indiana, parts of Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, even all the way back here into Texas. So again, Texas
Some
can
of the
be
same areas.
dealing with some hail. Yeah, Fort Worth, Wichita, kind of like today, Oklahoma here, eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas, parts of southwest Missouri. So very extensive and broad area of severe weather outbreak expected for tomorrow morning into the next morning. And then we have that day 3 slight risk that kind of continues for the same area, a little bit more south, which goes from what is that?
Dallas, Fort
Cleburne?
Worth, basically, yeah.
Dallas Fort Worth all the way to almost near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So
Yeah.
large area of slight for day 3.
And this is
That
kind of going back into that flood threat that we were talking about. That's another reason why in Arkansas they're expecting just so much of this rain, because we have just this barrage of storm systems and we have this blocking pattern here over the southeast, in all honesty, which is why these storm systems really aren't able to ride all the way east out over the east coast, and it's keeping our precipitation totals down. Even there in western Florida, you can see that, and up here into
Nothing
Georgia,
really.
but up there into Arkansas and into western Tennessee and western Kentucky, where some of those heaviest rainfall totals are expected.
4 inches. Could see higher though.
Yeah, and that's just the day 1 to 2. If you go day 1 through 5, you'll see even more across those areas. See that?
Wow. 10 inches of precipitation for parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, Boot Hill, Missouri, southern Illinois, southwest Indiana, and western Kentucky. The biggest areas being right here where this Ohio River and the Mississippi River. That's going to be big river flooding for sure if this verifies, which it looks like it's going to, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, so that is definitely going to be a big story here. Probably, these next couple weeks. And here's the other thing, too, you have to think about, Rob. We still have all that snowfall up across portions of the north central U.S., places like the Dakotas, even up into Minnesota. My brother's up in Minnesota, and they've been getting some snow up there. And with this big warm up that we could have here this next few days before we get that next shot of cold air, all of that's going to melt, and so that's going to combine with the rainfall and all flow, down to the Gulf of Mexico, basically, and just exasperate those flooding situations there in Arkansas and those areas. So
I wanted to look at the risk for flooding as well. We have a slight risk for excessive rainfall for parts of eastern Kansas, kind of where these training thunderstorms and lines of storms are going to be, parts of, St. Joseph, north of Overland Park and Kansas City here. So that's a slight risk. We have a marginal for outside areas, parts of Chicago, even here in Wisconsin, where Dan is, and that marginal risk of excessive rainfall. The day 2, we have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall from anywhere from Pine Bluff all the way up to Louisville. And then the biggest risk is going to be on, Thursday, where we have a high risk of flooding for parts of, looks like it's going to be western Kentucky, parts of
pretty much that whole
northeast
Paducah
Arkansas, west
area
Tennessee.
down to northwest Tennessee, Dyersburg, Union City, Murray.
Mayfield.
Yep, Mayfield.
Mayfield's like in the smack dab middle of that. So
Yeah, So,
Very unfortunate. We're going to be covering that a lot, I'm sure, this week, right, Joey?
yep. We're going to be doing a lot of live streams here at Extreme Weather Videos pretty much all week long. I'm sure most nights, every night, we'll be doing some live streams. Rob's been doing an awesome job getting out some forecast videos every day as well. So be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you get notified when new videos are released, as well as when we go live here to cover these weather events here across the United States. So new severe thunderstorm warnings coming out. That Grand Island storm system complex there continues to look pretty impressive there, Rob, on the radar this evening.
Yeah. It's starting to like almost conglomerate in a way. Like we were seeing more of
Yeah,
a
they
separated
really
hook. Now
are.
these are starting to.
It's kind of, yeah, exactly. The back one's kind of merging in with the front one. That'll become basically just a multi-cluster storm here
Yeah.
fairly soon. So, which reduces the tornado threat with that, which is obviously
Yeah.
good for that area. And we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued a few minutes ago. I know we're trying to kind of catch back up here. Down east of Arkansas City, there in southeast Kansas. So that has now been issued.
This is for southeastern Cowley and western Chautauqua counties until 8:30. This is near Hardy, or 11 miles southeast of Arkansas City, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. This has half dollar size hail. So like we were saying all night pretty much, the hail risk is definitely the most prominent so far of these supercellular and cluster storms here. If you're near Maple City and Cedar Vale, you need to be, keep an eye on this hail. This is the same supercell that we started with, remember?
Yep.
So we started with this supercell. This is what started them all, and it's still going.
It is still going. We
Yeah.
still have Ryan Pitt out there and Tyler Kurtz. They've been trying to keep up with it, but I think they're having a little bit of problem with the road network trying to keep up with it. So I think some folks here are going to kind of give up on that storm possibly, and wait for maybe some of this stuff down here near Duncan, Oklahoma. Which did they just update this warning? Yeah, they just trimmed that warning down there.
Thunderstorm warning.
Yeah.
Half dollar size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts near Duncan. They reported quarter size hail. So yeah, this is definitely the one to watch, I believe, for a lot of chasers. For right now, at least. I mean, these are staying semi-discreet. So if we get a break off right here, we could have any one of these two cells go upscale. So
Yeah.
keep an eye on that.
But like we were talking about earlier too, with these, it's going to be, it could honestly be a little detriment, at least with this particular set, is how far, how well they stay in touch with the dry line. Because if they get
Right.
detached from the dry line a little bit, that could cause some issues for them a little bit. So definitely something that we'll have to keep an eye on here this next little bit.
Because you don't want your supercells to move too fast to where it's getting away from that dry line boundary layer, but you don't want them to where it's too capped the environment to where they don't move at all. You don't want them to stall because then that'd be a lot of rainfall risk and things of that nature. So, yeah. Let's see, where would that dry line be right now? Would it be like Abilene, like West Abilene, San Angelo? Would it be like that area?
Let's take a look here, see if we can.
HRRR should show the dew point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's flip over here.
Let's take a look and see where it's at. If it's more east of like Abilene, then it's doing a decent job. But if it's more west, then it's gotta slow down. But it's not gonna.
Yeah, it's definitely seems
Yeah.
to still be more west there, for sure.
Yeah, it's catching up, but it's doing not a great job. Let's see. I mean, it doesn't move very much
It
until it gets
doesn't
to
move,
overnight.
yeah,
You
till
see
about
that?
till about 10Z.
It stays quasi-stationary.
Yeah. So, I mean, these storms are,
Look at that.
I mean, obviously these basically then are no longer dry line storms. They become more, just regular surface-based storms, you know?
Yeah.
And it
Not
and will be
elevated.
more dependent on the surface conditions rather than those
Dry.
boundary conditions per se. So
Right. They're more surface-based now that they're in that other than the warmer sector.
yeah, exactly.
Not right by the dry line.
They've detached themselves from that dry line. Because yeah, that dry line's basically still just west of Enid, down basically to Wichita Falls. And here's what's happening with this, Rob, is we have that strong low-level and mid-level jet that's really carrying these storms. They initially formed on the dry line, but then that low-level and mid-level jet kind of catch these storms and are carrying them off to the east-northeast. So then it
Right.
can become hard for them to really just be just pure surface-based storms. So a lot of times you'll see a little bit of a weakening trend before they can kind of try and become their own thing. And also the interaction that we're seeing here between these two storms here. I'm going to flip over to my screen real quick. The interaction that you kind of see between these two storms is also kind of interesting because the one that's here in the back, that outflow kind of bumped into the one to the north, and so one of these two basically will end up becoming the dominant storm, and the other one likely may end up collapsing in its wake. So that's going to be something
Right.
we're going to have to watch as well with this particular storm cluster come through Duncan. So I think this one out on the north will end up being the one to collapse, and this one here down near Empire City will become the dominant cell that will basically end up taking over. And we've already seen this one, that was way out here. That's fully collapsed here. This one that was here
Yeah.
coming toward Lindsay, that one's basically already entirely collapsed. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. I think it can still become surface based. Jason Cooley's out there on it. So yeah, it's got a decent
Yeah, look
little anvil on it. So still a little bit of daylight left out there on that particular storm. He's there on the north side of it, so kind of seeing that anvil on it. So we'll keep an eye on that storm here this evening. So, but I do think again, I think a lot of these chasers here probably are a little bit disappointed right now. I would imagine with how fast these storms are moving, having a little bit of a hard time keeping up with it. Especially since they now become detached from the dry line. What are your thoughts on all this, Rob? Also, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning
Yeah.
here on that storm.
My thoughts are when this second round comes in, like overnight, if the dry line hasn't moved very much and it's positioned to where the storms can form on the dry line, except for on the surface, I feel like if they don't move as fast, we could see a tornado for sure with the surface. If they're more surface based, if they're more elevated, I think it's just mostly gonna be a hail threat like we're seeing now.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have, I think regardless, the hail threat will be there. I think
yeah.
the question will be, like you said, can we get surface-based storms to initiate later this evening?
Because that's what you want for tornadoes. So you want a low base, you want a mesoscale or a mesocyclone rather that forms, around the base. So you don't want it too high to where you can only see it, but it doesn't come down all the way. That would be a land spout, right? If it's elevated and it comes down with a funnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't want that. We don't want it to stick on that dry line for too long. We want it to be in a good space where it's not going too fast, but it's still near the dry line enough where you have that you know, convectivity still with the features it needs for a hook, like the inflow, you know, all the conditions we need for it. So if the cape and everything else continues to be, you know, the prominent factor and the jet strengthens and this doesn't go too fast, then we could definitely see a tornadoes overnight.
Yeah.
But it's all a matter of when and where and if it actually happens. So
Well, we will see. So we'll keep an eye on it here, and see what ends up
Yes, that-
happening. But
that new severe thunderstorm warning that you were mentioning, that's gonna be for the northern area, right near
yep,
Elmore City.
yes, sir. That's it. Elmore City up
So
here,
that
coming
will
up
be-
to Interstate 35.
Quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there.
Yeah, it's this guy.
Let me
right
check
here.
the tops really quick. See how the tops are looking. I mean, the tops on this storm near Empire City are around what's that 45,000. I think you're correct because the northern storm, the tops are lower. So I think with the higher tops, those have the better like you're saying, they have the anvil cloud. So the ones that have the better like structure are the ones that are gonna be more stronger and if they stay discreet.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I
So-
think eventually that other storm will basically get absorbed potentially
Right.
by the
Yeah.
storm behind. It's kind of always interesting how the storm dynamics form and take place and stuff like that, and how they can interact with each other. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I
Happens
think
all the time,
we'll probably end the stream here for a minute. I might take a little break, and then if we need to, I might do something here later tonight. But I definitely am
Yeah.
planning on doing one tomorrow. I'd love to get to talk about the flood threat for tomorrow. I think that's going to be really big as we get into tomorrow across there, Arkansas, and then also recapping whatever happens here overnight tonight.
Yeah. It's the biggest question there, Joey, is with this low level jet, will it be strong enough but not fast enough? If it has a balance of where it's strong enough but not fast enough, that's where we'll get our tornadoes.
Yep.
So if the upper level trough comes in and that short wave just goes faster than the low level, that's an imbalance. So if we have an imbalance of the levels of the jet stream, that's where you can have cells that don't produce and they just absorb each other and they just become low topped or elevated by the dry line. So there has to be a balance. You can't just have instability and not have moisture and jet. You have to have all of it balanced to have supercells that turn into tornadoes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, here's another thing I was going to talk about. So when it comes to capping inversions, so the whole like teapot in the top thing.
Yes.
Right.
Excellent example.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with
So
this.
if you have a cap on that teapot, none of the moisture can get up into the atmosphere to where you have that rapidly, evolving cumulonimbus cloud. But if you have only a little bit and not too much, it could still get up to the atmosphere. But if you have none of it, it won't do anything at all. It'll just be rain, most likely. So you need to have a decent enough inversion to have an erosion, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So that's
It's
that.
going to be such an interesting overnight into early morning.
Yeah. And the models will tell us too, like what you're looking at right now. That will tell us if this comes to fruition. If it doesn't, then it's probably just going to be wind and hail dominant.
Yeah. I definitely think there'll be a good wind threat here in northern
definitely.
Missouri into eastern Kansas. I mean,
Yeah.
that just almost seems like a given.
Yeah.
Question is
And
what
those,
happens
those
here
are
with
those are their own mesoscale systems, so they can produce their own tornadoes with, the outflow and the embedded supercells. With these supercellulars, you need that surface-based, positioning.
Yep. Yes, you do. So I'd stand up there for a minute and stretch my legs. So. Yeah, that northern cell is definitely dying out there, Rob, on this. So what are we at? Just 5? We have 5 severe thunderstorm warnings left. Yeah. Well, that one actually just expired, so now or 2 of them just expired. So we should be about to go down to
Copy that.
3 severe thunderstorm warnings.
Copy that.
Well,
Yeah, those Nebraska storms are looking good for a minute, but
new severe thunderstorm warning on that Grand Island storm, right up here.
copy that.
Let's take a look
Let's
at
see
that
how
real
that's
quick.
looking.
This is, oh yeah, this is for both of those. Man, that's definitely got some good hail on it still. Both these storms
yeah.
have some impressive hail. I mean,
yeah.
right in Grand Island, it's going right through that area right now. I want to look at the velocities, make sure we're not seeing. Still a little bit of rotation here on the northeast side of Grand Island, actually, right up here near Lockwood area.
Yeah. Definitely got some decent raw rotation. It's trying.
Let's see if the warning says anything. 1.75 inch hail, 70 mile per hour winds, golf ball size hail. Right over Grand
got
Island, moving
severe.
northeast at 50 miles per hour. So,
It's got severe hail and wind right now.
yeah. So,
Yeah. I mean, Nebraska, we usually don't see Nebraska steps till mid to late April, but they can definitely still happen early April, especially when you have
Yeah.
that warm advection go all the way into the northern plains. We can definitely see that.
yeah.
That's
So,
what we're seeing right now, is we're seeing that advection go all the way up to Nebraska. So that's how you know that you could have an earlier start to some areas like northern plains, northeast. So we'll just have to see how that goes, you know.
yes, sir. We will have to see.
We even
what
had
happens.
severe weather in Minnesota a few days ago, like a couple of severe.
Yeah, and then
thunderstorms, so.
literally this morning and today, they had a dusting up there in Minnesota. And northern
it's
Minnesota
weird.
had more than a dusting. They had a few inches of snow come down. So
Big contrast of weather.
yeah, that's just very powerful troughing that's been taking place here this last week, and will continue
been kinda
here
locked-
across this next
It's
week.
been it's been very consistent for like Minnesota. They've been getting a lot of snow, but it's been melting fast, which is good. It hasn't been sticking around because
Yeah.
of it's springtime, and all the snow they do get is usually just it's guessing it's dry snow maybe.
Yeah.
It's like powdery
Jeez.
this time of year, so not that wet heavy snow you get in wintertime.
Yeah, it looks decent. Nothing super exciting on any of these storms. In all honesty, I mean, lots of hail. Don't get me wrong.
Oh.
Lots of hail. I'm sure we've got
Perfect.
some wind. I kind of want to take a quick look at our storm reports. See if we've gotten any storm reports in today. Yeah, we've gotten 12 hail reports, 2 significant hail reports, and 1 wind report. So,
Copy that.
did you see
have a
this
watch
new
possible,
mesoscale
it looks like,
discussion
too.
that came out, Rob?
I did not until now. No. Where is that
Isolated
for?
large hail and locally severe wind gusts possible. This
Texas.
is down in Texas. Yeah.
Copy that. Man, that's where that other hail threat was for the southern flank of that enhanced /
Yeah,
site.
so here's a good diagram of where that dry line is in Texas there. It basically runs through San Angelo up
Yep.
east of Abilene and Haskell
Abilene,
back up
yep.
toward Cromwell. So could see, some storm development here along this dry line is what they're thinking.
So that's gonna be elevated, right?
Yeah, more elevated, yeah. That's why they only have
Yeah.
40% watch probability on this. I don't think they'll issue a watch, but just something to keep an eye on. We'll probably see some storms. I think especially as the dry line, if it kind of creeps off to the east, we might see some storms try and kick up there across
A little bit of
the
cloud
dry
breaks
line
as
there.
well. So, yeah. Definitely, we'll see. Texas is gonna have a very busy couple days coming up, especially tomorrow and tonight. After that, it should be all east of there, but
Yeah. So, well, just a few SVRs. Rob, thank you so much for being on here with me tonight, doing this live stream, tracking
course,
some
no
of these
problem.
storms. And folks, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Also, follow us on Facebook. You can join us on facebook.com/extreme weather videos. We also have a Discord server. We would love to have you join as well. That is linked there. All this is linked in the description, so definitely be sure to join us there. We'll be doing another live stream, I'm sure, as we get into the day tomorrow, and watching all this flood threat and different things like that. So I appreciate you all being on here with us. I know there's a lot of severe weather going on these next few weeks, really, as we get here into the heart of April, and we'll definitely be doing our best to cover it as best we can here at Extreme Weather Videos. So we appreciate you guys tuning in this evening. Have a great evening. We'll see you guys on the next live stream here on Extreme Weather Videos. Thanks, Rob, again for joining me, man.
no problem. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts overnight.
Yes, sir.